If you're looking for the best acoustic guitar under 1000, here's a list you must see. We made this list based on our personal preference and sorted it based on their features, prices, quality, durability, and reputation of the manufacturers and customer feedback. Also, we've included options for every type of customer. So let's get started. At the first position of our list, we have Taylor Academy Series 10E. The Academy aesthetic is simple. The notably light hue of the solid Sitka spruce here won't be to some traditionalist tastes, but it gives the guitars a clean, defined look that, as we'll find out, is reflective of performance. Nevertheless, despite the simple acrylic dot fret markers, it's not completely utilitarian. The laminated birch and fiber rope braid design rosette is understated but stylish. This guitar isn't lacking Taylor's spruce top hallmarks, bright and resonant trebles with assured projection. The low action is extremely welcoming across the ebony board too, and will help break boundaries for aspiring players. Combined with the response of this instrument, it creates an immediately enjoyable playing experience. The Teen offers lower mid presence alongside the deeper bass response in comparison to its smaller bodied sibling, the 12E's higher range energy. It will come down to personal preference for players between those two models with shape and tonal balance, but both guitars fare very well as all-rounders at either end of the spectrum for delicate picking, and their projection doesn't lose its clear definition under heavy strummed playing either. Plugged in, the ESB represents the qualities of this guitar well. Indeed, this model it sounds and feels superior acoustically and plugged in than most models we've played in its class. The Academy series represents a very clear vision and in many ways a dream beginner guitar, as well as potential trade-up for some existing players, one that can inspire and go the distance with a guitarist from bedroom to stage. Moving on to the next at number 2 with EPIPHONE Hummingbird. The Hummingbird doesn't need much of an introduction. It has been a firm favorite of the biggest rock stars of all time, from Tom Petty to Bob Dylan, Keith Richards to Chris Cornell. It's fair to say that the Hummingbird has left a lasting mark on the world of music. Unfortunately, we don't all have the money to drop on the Gibson version, so the next best thing has to be the EPIPHONE inspired by Gibson Hummingbird, and we must say this is a fantastic option for a guitar player of any ability. From its all-solid construction, incredibly comfortable neck, and drop-dead gorgeous looks, this guitar is easily one of the best acoustic guitars under $1,000. The number 3 position is held by Yamaha FENDER Trans Acoustic. Every now and then an instrument comes along that turns the entire guitar industry on its head. That guitar was the Yamaha Trans Acoustic. Not only is this a beautiful guitar to look at and to play, but it has a rather clever surprise under the hood: the ability to generate its own reverb and chorus with no need for an amp, no need for an amplifier. You would be forgiven for thinking that this concept is just a gimmick, but we can assure you that Yamaha has delivered a genuinely inspiring guitar that, quite frankly, is a joy to play. It is genuinely perplexing how Yamaha can produce a guitar of this quality at such a low price. Next at number 4 we have Fender Paramount PM1. When Fender launched the Paramount series in 2016, it represented a new commitment to winning over players from a company that's arguably not traditionally a go-to for acoustics. And this guitar delivers on the quality we'd hoped for from the iconic brand. The mahogany tops have an indented texture to the grain that looks and feels vintage. A thin open-pore satin finish leaves their organic looks unhindered. While we're encountering more guitars in this price territory that aim for vintage Americana-style heritage, these models set a new standard for their price range. And the checkerboard purfling for the top, rosette and backstrip takes on influence from further back in time and recalls the old Weissenborn style 4-rope binding. It really gives these models a premium vintage touch. In many respects, the PM1 is a textbook example of an all-mahogany dreadnought boasting a lot of the character that attracts players to this wood choice, but it feels notably livelier than some we've encountered. This guitar's relatively lightweight for a solid build seems to aid in aerotonality without losing muscular projection. That mahogany mid-voice is there in abundance with a thumpy and defined low end rather than the boom that we'd hope to find from mahogany. Sustaining notes shine in the upper mids with a pleasing, rounded bluegrass quality playing with the pick. For flatpickers and those pursuing a woodier tonality, rather than steely chime, look no further. The number 5 position is held by Martin Road Series 010E. This guitar's top, back and sides are formed from solid sheets of sapel. This African wood is often used, not least by Taylor, as a more eco-friendly alternative to mahogany. Its light-colored grain is punctuated with thick, darker stripes that contrast beautifully with the ebony-like fingerboard and bridge, plus the faux tortoise pickguard and a simple white multi-striped soundhole rosette. Some users describe the performing artist/high-performance taper setup this guitar has as having an electric guitar feel. For us, the 44.45 nut takes us out of that mindset. There's no question we're grappling with an acoustic guitar here. It just happens to come fitted with an exceptionally playable neck. The diminutive 010E is at its happiest when you tickle its strings with your fingertips, and the Zero's lively mid-range and warm treble of the top strings make for an addictive package for root styles. The response is what we'd expect from a mahogany body acoustic. Projection is terrific. Once again, SEAGULL's qualification as a noble stand-in is well justified. This will be a great guitar for the recording studio, especially if your talents stretch to folk and Delta-style blues. Fishman's new MXD preamp is a blast. Running in connection with the brand's Sonicor undersaddle pickup, it features a master volume, master tone, a phase switch, the feedback killer, and an onboard tuner. All are neatly stuffed inside the sound hole. Solid woods can sometimes make all the difference. Thanks to experience and precedence, we can assume this guitar will grow old gracefully. As it stands, it's off to a great start. The number 6 position is dominated by PRS SE TONARE T40E. PRS affordable SE series instruments perform well beyond the usual standards of other acoustic guitars in their price range, delivering tone that's comparable to the company's private stock acoustics. The SE TONARE T40E boasts a solid Sitka spruce top, oven cold back and sides, a mahogany neck, ebony bridge and fretboard with bird inlays, plus a bone nut and saddles. Cosmetically, the guitar sports beautiful tiger acrylic purfling and rosette and cream body binding. The built-in Fishman G-tone electronics, meanwhile, are virtually invisible, with only a small block for the output jack and battery compartment access mounted on the lower treble side and rotary volume and tone controls mounted above the low E string inside the sound hole. Sound-wise, the T40E is an expressive, dynamic instrument with an outstanding bass-to-treble balance that's powerful, sweet and rich thanks to its ingenious combination of X bracing and classical fan-style bracing. Furthermore, the cathedral reverb-like resonance is stunning. A great fingerstyle acoustic for any price, in particular the sub-$1,000 bracket. Moving on to the next at number 7 with Art and Lutherie Roadhouse Tennessee Red. Art and Lutherie may not be a brand that is on everyone's radar, but for familiarity's sake, the company is a division of the more well-known Godin guitars. That doesn't change the fact that, with the Roadhouse, you get what appears to be a boutique instrument at a budget price. For starters, there's a solid spruce top and rich, crimson laminated wild cherry back and sides, covered with a pearloid pickguard, off-white binding and a semi-gloss finish that allows a bit of grain to show through, a nice touch. Coupled with the parlor-sized body, the Roadhouse exudes a classic old-timey feel right out of the box. And it plays and sounds great to boot. The middle and upper ranges of the guitar are very strong, with plenty of clarity, definition and warmth. What's more, the instrument rings out in a way that belies its small size, making it perfect to cut through the mix in an ensemble setup. The fretboard is clean and the strings are nicely spaced, making the Roadhouse a pleasure to pick. A perfect companion to playing some country blues, or why not? Some country blues. The number 8 position is held by Yamaha CSF-3M. The return of Yamaha's CSF series marks its most determined move yet into the compact acoustic market. While it doesn't have the slimmest of necks compared to some of its rivals in the compact acoustic market, but we think that's a strength, and the 406 16-inch fretboard radius will be welcome news for anyone alienated by the more cramped playing experience of some so-called travel guitars. Like many of Yamaha's current builds, the CSF-3M features scalloped bracing with the aim of producing a louder, richer acoustic sound, but that's not the only spec feature that could be to its advantage on paper. The 105 body depth is deeper than most of the compact competition, but strikes a comfortable balance with the neck dimensions in play. And, as we soon discover, that equilibrium is well reflected in the tonal character of the guitar, too. Its voice is strong with a rich bottom end that's immediately rewarding for fingerstyle-based notes. The sinewy high-end makes for a great definition and choppy folk rhythm work with surprisingly powerful projection on single notes, while the satisfying neck dimensions also help to mask the sense this is a scaled-down instrument in terms of its playability. The CSF3M walks the line between a standard parlor and a lightweight compact traveler in both specification and feel, and it does so confidently. The performance and build rise above any niche concept, and it could be an instrument you keep returning to both at home and away, albeit something you may treasure too much to risk denting at that campfire sing-along. Next at number 9 we have D'Angelico XL Bowery. With a market as crowded as this, it's crucial to stand out, and the D'Angelico XL Bowery does just that. This guitar definitely delivers, from the Art Deco stylings to the fantastic amplified sound of the Fishman Presses Plus preamp. Featuring a very playable slim C-neck profile and large cutaway, the Bowery is perfect for beginners or electric players looking to enter the world of acoustic guitar. The solid top delivers a bright attack and shimmering high-end, which makes this guitar great for strumming. If you are looking for a guitar that is effortless to play and has a unique look, then it's worth seeking this one out. Finally, the number 10 position is dominated by SEAGULL S6 Original Acoustic Guitar. SEAGULL S6 Original is one of the best acoustic guitars that provide higher volume and bigger sound, not with electronics but with its design. The S6 has a solid cedar top and solid mahogany back and sides, which provide warmer and more robust tone. The binding on its bracing aids the durability and nice resonance of the guitar. Check out its neck, which is made of mahogany. This particular material is a great choice for the neck that provides comfort. At the same time, it's strong yet light. The rosewood fretboard is another thing that's perfect for this guitar. It offers nice feel and touch on the fingers. Although I do a bit of fingerstyle, I think this guitar isn't for these kind of guitar playing, which I think very arguable. However, the moment I tried, I think the S6 is better for fingerpicking and light to moderate strumming too. That's all for today. We upload music product review videos every single day. So don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for the upcoming video notification.